Welcome back to the Cornish Stitcher, episode 13. My name is Ness, and I live in the southwest of England in Cornwall, about sort of 16 miles over the borders into southeast Cornwall in a small market town. If you are new here, very welcome. You're welcome. I noticed that I've got some new subscribers, so welcome to my little place on the internet. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. It's lovely to see you. Apologies, it's been a few weeks. The returning viewers will know that I am a sufferer of fairly recently, in the last 18 months, diagnosed fibromyalgia, and I've had quite a few flare-ups in the last few weeks, combined with so I live in Cornwall with, as I said, with my family, extended family, so not extended family, multi-generational household, that's what I mean. And we live in a large bungalow with, there's myself, my husband Matt, my parents, who feature quite frequently when I do vlogs, and then my two children, Ethan, who's 16, and Monty, who is 11. We have two dogs, Ika and Janice, both Spanish rescues, and we have three cats, Alfred, Maya, and Keisha. So it's a busy old household, but yes, so it's been a very frantic few weeks. Ethan is 16 and therefore is now in the first week of his proper GCSE exams. So in England, for viewers from outside of the country, young people take their end of school exams at 16, which are called GCSEs. Ethan has 17 of these exams over a 5-week period with a week's holiday in between. And he's just undertaken exam number 4 today. So we've had a frantic few weeks of revision cramming for him, but he seems to be doing really well and coming out of them quite positively. So let's hope that continues. Fingers crossed. As for Monty, it's quite a controversial subject in this country, but children of 11 finish one stage of their education in primary, and they have public examinations as well at 11, which is quite a fraught subject, both within education circles and family circles and parental circles, etc. They are, as a former teacher, I can absolutely categorically tell you now, they are not there for the children. They are there to judge and browbeat schools with. But I won't get into the whys and wherefores of that. But Monty has had those this week as well. So been lots of, he's a perfectionist. Both of the boys are diagnosed on the spectrum. So, but he is an absolute perfectionist. And yesterday had a little bit of a wobble. So I was planning on filming this podcast yesterday. And wasn't able to, so I'm here now, but let's hope we get no interruptions going forward and that everything should be good. So welcome back. What's that is 3.5 minutes of waffle, so apologies. So this is my podcast around knitting, crochet, sewing, general craft things, and anything I've been getting up to craft wise and plans going forward. I do have a finished object, and I have almost 2 finished objects, but not quite, but I'll show you. So my finished object is about 15 months ago I watched many podcasts where there was a huge influx of emotional support chickens. I really wanted to make one. And the people who have been following this podcast for a while will know that I started and put it down and started and put it down and started and put it down. And in the end, we decided that the chicken was very firmly in the egg stage and wasn't going to come forward. Anyway, thanks to my wonderful friend AJ. Hi AJ, who comes to our knitting and natter group on a Wednesday. It turned out that where I was going wrong on the tail was a really simple error. She photographed it and, oh, there we go. And so now we have Demelza. Please meet Demelza. Demelza the Cornish chicken for the Cornish stitcher. So Demelza is made in this yarn, which is Christmas at Ken's. It's a Bird Street yarn colourway, and the pink, wonderful pink stripes are yarn from James Makes Yarn, Walking Primrose, which he dyed inspired by Girls Aloud. You can see her safety eyes. A little waterline comb was just from Stash. So I love her. She is very cuddleable. She is very friendly, a very friendly chicken. She has made some friends. My Knit and Natter group have also made lots of chickens over the past 12 months. So I am planning, I'm very excited. On Saturday, so I'm filming this on the 15th of May, Thursday the 15th of May. And in 2 days' time, on Saturday the 17th of May, 2025, I will be attending the very first Big Flock Festival, which is being run by and hosted by John and Claire of Bird Street Yarns. And so I have agreed to take part in a podcasters meet and greet. So I shall be in the live lounge at, I think it's 2:30 on Saturday. I am terrified. So I'm with my friend Nicola Tyra from A Little Craft Room, and I'm also with Shannon and Amanda from the Norfolk Knitting Girls. So I'm sure people will come up and see those guys, but I'm convinced that the only people that are going to come and see me are the hecklers from my group that are coming with me. So but please feel free to come and find me at the Big Flock. And if you see me around and about at the Big Flock, come and say hi, say, hi, which podcast? Blah, blah, blah. I will be mortified and probably go to gobbledygook, because that's exactly what I do every single time people say that to me, because I'm still astounded that anybody wants to watch this and watch me. But yeah, if you are around and you see us, just come and say hi. But the connection is I shall be bringing Demelza. So I will bring Demelza, and Demelza's friends are also planning on coming to keep me company at the podcasters meetup. So there is going to be, there will be Feathers McGraw, who's made by my friend Sue, and her companion Betty Bouclet, who will also be coming, made by Sue. There is Yoko, who is coming, who's made by my friend Jen. She's a crochet version of the Emotional Support Chicken. And a couple of others, I think, are coming, who've been made by AJ. As you can see, we are comical in our names. But Demelza is a proper Cornish name for a proper Cornish chicken. But Demelza needs a companion, so the next job is I've got to make another Emotional Support Chicken. But I love her. I'll link the pattern down below. And yeah, I mean, there are thousands now made. I'm very late to the party. But yeah, this is Demelza. She says hi. Well, I'll just pop her over here so she's safely ready for Saturday. Now, my other almost finished object, and I'm hoping that I can finish it by Saturday, but I'm not entirely sure, is I have been making the Granny Go Round cardigan. Seems to be going for ages. And I have taken a break because of other projects, which I'll show you in a minute. But I literally have half a sleeve to go, which you can see here. I have half a sleeve to go. And this is it. I'll put it on, bear with. So as you can see, it's a classic granny round. I've done it cropped to the waist. That's the length I wanted it to go over longer tops and dresses. This sleeve is done, and I think once blocked, will come right the way down to my wrist. This is how far I've got left to go on this one. So that's all I've got left to do. So I'm hopeful that I'll be able to finish it before coming to the show on Saturday. But it is 100% wool, so it's going to be far too hot in the middle of May, I think, to be wearing this. But I love it. I'm also not doing a button band as such. I never do cardigans up. So I'm just going to put a solitary button up here so that I can wear it open. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. Grey isn't a colour I would naturally go towards for knitting. I find it quite a colour to knit with. However, I do like the combination of it in these colours. So yeah, I'm just a little bit bored of going round and round, I think, in granny clusters. I think that's probably what it is. And I've got ends to sew in, as you can see, so that's going to be a fun project. But yes, I do love the effect, and I'm loving how it's turned out, and how the colours go together. I'll link the pattern down below. I'm back, and I know that was just seconds for you, but I've had to sort everything out. So what I meant to tell you was this cardigan has been knitted in West Yorkshire Spinners pink. I'm not entirely sure what shade of pink that is. I'll find out and I'll pop it in the listing below. I've used Drops Charisma for the cream, in colourway 1, which I think is cream or off-white. And then I've used Stylecraft Recreate. This was all in my stash. Stylecraft Recreate, which is their recycled wool. Now, I actually have I love the ethics behind it. I love, it's quite soft, for a recycled yarn. I think it's just the colour that's put me off. But with the combination of these 3 colours, I quite like it. So I had originally bought it as an idea to a project to do matted jumper, and then changed my mind when I saw this cardigan. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with it, and hopefully, as I say, I'll be able to finish it this week. Today's Thursday. I think if I can certainly work on it. It's really warm weather here at the moment, in Cornwall, and Monty has requested evening at the beach this evening as a celebration at the end of his exams. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'll take that for a couple of hours crochet at the beach, and I should be able to whack it out. So it should be fine. But I'm not sure I'm going to bring it on Saturday. It's very heavy, and I'm travelling to Bristol by train, so I have no option of being able to kind of dump it anywhere for overheating purposes. So yes, and then I will now pop in my other finished objects, which I've just filmed and forgotten about, so just bear with. Whilst I was showing you that, I completely forgot my other finished object, which is this top. It's bear with me, it's this top by Tilly and the Buttons, and I've done this version, but bear with me, let me show you what I've actually done. Oh, I don't think it's in here. Oh. There are 4 versions that you can make with this, with the boat neck type, as I've done on the dress, and then make it into a tunic. So that's what I've done. This is the second one I've made of these. I made 3/4 length sleeves. I love this pattern of foxes. Again, it's a blue. This is blue, not grey. But yeah, I really love how it's turned out. I love, I'm wearing it all the time. I love the feel of it. I love the cut. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that one. I'm back. So you will have just seen this top, which I love. And when I was at Craft for Crafters in Exeter, way back in February now, I saw this fabric from the Sewing Sanctuary, and absolutely fell in love with it. Anybody that knows me knows that I am all embracing of all things autumn, winter, and anything cottagecore, to the point that they all laugh about it. And this just was the most perfect fabric. So my plan is to use this fabric to make another one of these, possibly 2. I've got a huge amount of fabric, so I'm thinking I might be able to make 2 with shorter sleeves for the summer. But it's a stretch jersey type. So and actually this was only the second item I've ever made in jersey, and it was fine. I used the jersey needle on the sewing machine and it was absolutely fine. So I'm really pleased with how it's turned out, and really pleased with the planning of this one. So yeah, I can't wait to do that. On to works in progress. So obviously the cardigan is a work in progress. The other major work in progress is this. Now, bear with me. It goes like this. This is the most gorgeous project to try and make, but equally my first attempt at lace on a garment. So I'm not sure how it's done. I am in the process of making the Padto cardigan, which I'm not sure I've got a photo of here. No. And I am making it in this yarn from the camel's yarn, which is just glorious. And this one is 4-ply, and it's called sea-etched seagrass. Have I got the other skein? No. Yes. It's called salt-etched seagrass, and it's a mix of 70% alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. It is the most softest, most glorious yarn just ever, and it's being held with a skein of kids drop silk in colour 45. So holding them together, you can see they're very similar, and it is making up to be this spectacular fabric, and I am loving it. I got really frustrated on some of the lace because it was really complex, and it's not really complex. This is how I've ended up having to do it. So it's an 8-stitch pattern, essentially, repeat. I'm all tangled up, bear with me. And I've ended up with, as you can see, many stitch markers to show me the different repeats. Once those went in, which was an advice from both my mum and my friend Wendy, who has a podcast, Wendy Paul, that was their advice, and once I did that, it was fine. It made the lace so much easier, and now it looks like it's supposed to look. But it's just so drapey and soft. It's knitted on 6mm needles with my stitch markers from my needle stoppers are from Cozy 20S. Is that the name? I'll pop it up or in this description below. She sells wonderful crochet hooks and things like that, and needle stoppers, so I love these. So this is, as I say, the mohair's gone up my nose, but this is my other big kind of work in progress as we speak. So as soon as this cardigan's finished, the crochet cardigan is finished, then my plan is to crack on with this one. This is in one of the Cornish stitches, my own bags. This is a fabric I got from when I was away in Whitstable, but apparently it's an Italian fabric. I do have some more, so I'm planning on making some of these bags, and then there won't be a great deal because I haven't got a huge amount, but I thought it was the perfect fabric to hold a cardigan that's got a Cornish name in it, so that's what's been in there. And yeah, I love the cardigan, and I know I will love it when it's finished. The mohair does get up my nose so that is a bit of a working hazard. My other 2 works in progress that I have been working on are when I was at I've had a lot of yarn shows, shock horror. When I was attending, I knew that I wanted to buy this yarn club from Pixie Yarns, because I've seen Stitch by Paula at Stitch by Mrs. D do many of her blankets using the clubs that come out, the quarterly clubs from Pixie Yarns, and I knew I wanted to probably do one this year. And then when she released it, it was about Cornish roots, so the Cornish stitcher can't not make double negative. The Cornish stitcher has to make, really, a yarn blanket that is around roots of Cornwall. So I bought the pack and I started, so I'm going to make a Battenburg blanket with it. These need blocking, but this is the first colourway. So these, not showing particularly well, it's beautiful. This one's called white gold, and if in Cornwall, white gold means the china clay. So Cornwall is rich in china clay deposits, and there are a string of quarrying works that are known as the Cornish Alps because of the huge mountain-like structures. I'll try and pop a picture in here of what it's like, and these are inspired by the white gold, that is the Cornish clay that comes out of the ground, and they go in a sequence of different colours. So that's white gold. I can't remember what this one is. This is the second colourway, and it's going to be a year-long fade. So I'm getting I'm using a 4mm hook. I've got the DK version. So you get 6 20-gram minis every quarter, and I am making, I'm managing to get 4 3-round solid grannies out of them, plus I've got a little bit left over from each one, it's not in here, that I'll use to make something else in my scrap basket. And then I'm going to I've got Drops Charisma because it's just my go-to to make my cream ones. So my plan is to make those over the year, and then by the end of 12 months I will have a lovely big Battenburg blanket. Yeah, bear with me. Matt's ringing me and he's rung me 3 times, so it must be important. I'm back. He was ringing about bluebells. Right. Back to works in progress. So I am renowned and well known within my knitting group for my love of pink. Shock horror. Who knew? Everything features pink. You know, my love of James makes yarns and made predominantly because, you know, he caught me with Malibu Barbie at the first point, and now I just love him and all of his yarns. As you know, there's pink in my Barbie, my Christmas at Ken's, there's pink in my cardigan, there's pink coming up, there's pink everywhere. Anyway, my lovely friend Sue went out for a day with her husband and happened to call upon a yarn shop, you know, because she's supporting the local economy of where they went for the day. You know, this is what we have to do. So, and she stumbled upon this. And she kindly got me a ball. Is it not just beautiful, divine? Right, it is called, bear with, I think it's a King Cole. Excuse the sniffing, I have hay fever. Really bad. No, that's a Charisma label. It's a King Cole Zigzag. That's what it is. King Cole Zigzag. And it's just lovely. I mean, I have started a sock. I need car knitting. That cardigan is far too big to take in the car for crochet. I'm like this, it's like I'm doing a blanket. As is the Padto cardigan, requires far too much concentration for car knitting. So I'd like to have a pair of socks on the go or a shawl that I can do in the car. And so this is how it's knitting up. I love it. You can see the zigzags, actually. It's really aptly named. So I've only started this. I'm doing the toe up sock. I've got 60 stitches on a 2.5mm needle. I'm doing it in the magic loop, and I'm using my friend Wendy Paul's design pattern, so I will link that in the description box below. But yeah, it's my fail-safe. It's how I always make my socks. I've got a sock knitting bible that tells me how to make cuff down, and I do keep meaning to do it, as I've said in previous podcasts, but this just is, it's familiar, it's easy, and it's what I love, and it makes doing shorties really easy. So this is destined to become a pair of shorties for me. And yeah, thank you to Sue for the beautiful yarn, which I love. I love all gifts, obviously, but yeah, that was just really lovely gift from her. Just checking. Yeah, nothing in there. So on to my future plans. I have I have a Ravelry list as long as your arm. And I go to these yarn shows with firm plans of not buying any more yarn or not buying any more patterns. And I fail abysmally. There's no two ways about it. However, I have been through my stash and I have got about 11 or 12 skeins that are single skeins that currently have no defined pattern attached to them. However, could be used in projects together because they are complementary to each other. Other than that, I have specific projects in specific bags that are destined for a particular pattern. So this is you will know if you're a returning viewer that I absolutely love Lay Family yarn. They're one of my go-to sort of 3 yarn dyers, 4 yarn dyers. I have 4 yarn dyers that I go to repeatedly. Bird Street, James Makes Yarn, Bellica, and Lay Family Yarns. One of my favourite podcasts is Stitched by Mrs. Podcasters is Stitched by Mrs. D, and also Gaynor from Tales from Cuckoo Land. And I happened to see that those two made a hilarious journey to go to Shropshire to Lay Family Yarns for Paula to be able to dye her own yarn. Well, you will also know if you're a returning viewer that my love of Herkle Durkle that Gaynor dyed and Spuddle had previously dyed at Lay Family Yarns. They are in my stash ready for a project. Well, then when I saw Paula there, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm just done for, because I knew that it was going to probably be pink or blue and just loved it. And just look. And I was really lucky because I got some of the original ones that Paula herself dyed. So I have 3 skeins of DK weight of Beautiful Bunting, which I just love. And then I have 3 skeins of Bellica Yarns Blue in my stash that I love, also DK. And then from my stash from I don't know when, this must be 18 months, no, more than that. It might even be pre-COVID, this purchase. So these are from the Chester Wool Company, and I'm not sure you can see, there's some stellina in there, but they're undyed, and I've got 300 grams of these in 4-ply. And my plan is to hold all of these together. Oh, hang on, I just can't hold it all together. Hang on, let me hold one of each. Like this. Hang on. Like that. To make a Leith cardigan by Rebecca Clow of the Crea Bayer. I'll pop a picture up here. I only want to use 2 colours if I possibly can. And I've worked out the yardage and meterage, and I think it's perfectly doable with these because they're quite long. So that is one of my absolute up and coming projects. Once I've got one of these cardigans finished, because I want to use this beautiful yarn. Yeah, I love it. I know more cardigans than I know what to do with, but hey ho, all for different purposes. So that's my one plan. And my other big plan is I bought some of this. I happened to be on Hobby's website looking for something for my friend for Jen, and stumbled upon this delight. So this is, it was being discontinued. It's Friends cotton print. Now, some of you will know I'm not a fan of cotton, in general sense. However, this is cotton silk, so it is slightly different. It's very soft, and I want to make a summer tee with slightly longer arms. So I'm going to make the tuffle tee. I'll pop a picture up here of what I want to make using this yarn, and it's in crochet. So my plan is that this will be my crochet garment, this will be my knitted garment on the go, and these will be my knitted socks, and then that covers me for all eventualities. I'm trying to get my whips down to a manageable level. I have got blankets obviously in here, but my plan is to have a crochet garment, a knitted garment, and a socks / shawl garment, a travelling garment that I can use when in the car to try and keep things down. My other plan is that I need to make Demelza a companion, and my plan is, if you were here over Christmas last year, you'll know that my friend Jen and I did each other yarn advents, and my plan is to use my yarn advent that Jen did for me to make another chicken. Yeah, so those are my future plans. Bear with me. Back. So yes, so those are my future plans going forward and what I would like to do. So I'm trying to put it here to hold myself accountable. But you and I all, we know, we're amongst friends. We know that things will fly in and I will see something on somebody else's podcast. Go, oh, I really want to make that. And then it will all fly out the window again. But anyway, I have these plans written into a book here. And these are they. So, I have also started a Jacques scarf, but I don't know where that is. Where have I put that? It's in a bag somewhere. I don't know where that is. I'll have to dig that out. But that's a quick project in cotton. So I should be fine with that. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with my cardigan, and I'm really pleased with the Padto cardigan, so I'm hoping that those will be off the hooks and the needles really quite swiftly, and then on to longer term kind of exciting, more exciting projects, or equally as exciting I should say. The needle just caught under the tripod. Apologies for the sudden jerking. Right, so if you are watching this before the big flock and you're able to come and say hi on Saturday, then please do. And if you are around and it's not at the podcasters meetup, please also come and say hi. There'll be a whole group of us, I think, with that are coming up from Cornwall, so we should be quite recognisable with chickens, etc, etc. I wish everybody really well. Hope you're having a lovely time and enjoying knitting and staying safe wherever you are. And I'm hoping that I can do some vlogging whilst I'm at the big flock on Saturday. So then there should be, even if it's a slightly shorter one, a vlog type video going up next week. The week after that we're on holiday as it's half term in the UK, so or at least in England and Wales, so we will be going to Scotland, so I'll try and film some footage of there too. I've hoped you liked some of the footage of the pictures that I popped in at the beginning of some of our Easter holiday kind of trips out and things that we've been doing over the weekends. But until I see you next time, take care and see you soon. Bye.